Hi guys, for this video we're going to discuss the use of math.h header file. So a math.h header file is a header file which contains functions that have something to do with mathematics, like formulas or trigonometric functions. So those are included in our math.h. So there are a lot, but we have here examples on what are those math functions that are that we can use. These are just some of the functions that are included in the math.h. So in order for us to use them, we must declare it in the preprocessor directive. So here we can add a new statement which includes our math.h. Okay, so once it's already declared, then we can now use these functions. To use this function, you just simply type the keyword that you're going to for the function, and then followed by a parenthesis. So each parenthesis must require a value. So and each function have different requirements. So let's start first with the FABS. So since these functions with all math functions would return a particular value, so this value can be printed. So to print those values or result, we can assign a placeholder for that one. So each function has different data types. So for FABS, the data type is a long float or a float. Okay, so we just use F here, and then the value that will be placed for our placeholder, the value that will be displayed here is our when we can use the FABS. So we say FABS, and then the two parentheses, and inside the two parentheses our value. Okay, and then the FABS, what it do is that it takes your float value and results into a positive of that particular number. So what's the positive of 123.24? Then whatever it is, that will be the value that will be returned here in your place holder. So of course, the positive of 123.24 is 123.24. So when you run the program, it would look like this. So it's just a positive value. Since this is absolute value, so if you have a negative value, then our function would transform this one, take this number, and then give its positive value, and that value will be now be placed on wherever this placeholder is located. So in this case, even though it's negative 123, it takes the positive value, so you will have 123.24. Okay, so that's how you use your FABS. So let's move to our the power function. So POW function. So the POW function is the same as your exponents. Okay, so let's just, and it would require us to use two values inside the parentheses, one for the base and another for the exponent. So if you have a number raised to a certain power, then we can use this POW function. So the result of that one is also a float value. So we can say, sorry. So we write POW, and then the parentheses, and inside the two parentheses, the first number, which is an integer, let us say 5, and then followed by a comma and a value, which is also an integer, is 3. Uh, 3. So this means that this function would return the value of 5 raised to 3. So that's 5 times 5 times 5 3 times. 5 times 5 times 5. That's 5 raised to 3. So that value, whatever the result of that this function, it will be displayed on this placeholder. So let me just write the slash n here so that the value would be on the next line. So let's run the program, and you would see 125 because 5 raised to 3 is actually 125. Since it is a float, so you will have this value. If you do not want to have more decimal places, so you can actually write 0 point on this portion between the percent and the f, 0.2. Okay, so let us now use the square root function. So sqrt and then the parentheses. So inside the parentheses is the number that you're going to it's the number that you're going to use to take to get its square root. So printf, and then slash n percent f also for float. I'm going to write 0.2 so that I will have 2 decimal places only, and then use square root the function, and inside the parentheses is the number that you're going to get a square root. So let us say 16. So we know that the square root of 16 is 4. So definitely we're going to have the value of 4 for this placeholder. So the result here is 4, so that will be the value here that will be displayed. So when we run the program, we'll have 4. Next is to use the function floor. Floor is a function that returns the rounds down, the number inside the parentheses into the largest integer less than or equal to the number. Okay, so if you have a number less than or equal to that number, the next integer less than or equal to the number will be the result when you use floor. Printf to use floor slash n, then we still the result is still of a float value. Remember, not all math functions returns a float value. Only these of these particular functions. So we have floor, and then the value that we are going to use. So it would take the it will round off the number inside the parentheses, um, uh, the largest integer less than the or equal to the number. So in this case, so ano yung equal dito sa number na integer, round off I'm going to round off is 123. So it disregards the decimal place. So when you run the program, you will have 123 without the 0.4. And ceiling, for the ceiling, it works the same, but this time you're going to round it up. So So instead of 123, it becomes 124 because that's the next higher integer. So that is for seal. So 0, 2, F, and then seal, and then the number 123.4. This time it will be, the result will be 124. Okay, so that's how you use your math functions. You can also combine math functions if you want when you create your formulas. For let us say printf, we want to display the result of a formula where it involves math functions such as square root. For example, if you're going to add the pow of 5 and 3 added by the square root of 81. So you will have pow of 53, you will have 125. And the square root of 81 is 9. So you will have 125 plus 9. So you will have a value of 134. So as you can see here, you will have a result of 134. Okay, I hope you were able to learn something about the use of math.h. So please like and subscribe. Thank you.